Republican convention on Thursday night. Fox News learning that he plans to hammer Joe Biden over his record on China, among other major foreign policy issues. The Republican senator from Arkansas joins us now. We're talking about you as if you're not there, Senator Cotton. So thank you for being here this morning. Give us your message and how you plan to counter the DNC message from last week and your big moment this week.
Sandra, thanks for having me on. I think Barack Obama's own Secretary of Defense put it well when he said that Joe Biden has been wrong on nearly every major national security decision of the last 40 years. Let's take China. Joe Biden has said that China, as recently as last year, is not our competitors. He said they're not even bad folks. Throughout the Obama-Biden era, he toasted Xi Jinping and celebrated the rise of China. That's consistent with more than 40 years of failures to stand up to the Chinese Communist Party. He voted to give China most favored nation status. He supported their accession to the World Trade Organization, terrible trade deals that shut down our factories and sent our jobs to China. He stood idly by in the Obama administration as Chinese-produced fentanyl flooded across our southern border. They did nothing as China created military bases out of rocks in the sea to bring more of America's troops and citizens and our allies at greater risk from their missiles and their bombers and their fighter aircraft. Joe Biden has done nothing for 40 years to stand up to the Chinese threat. President Trump has been standing up to them for 3.5 years, and with another 4 years, we will ensure that America remains the world's dominant power, not the Chinese Communist Party.
A big part of the president's tough stance on China has been during this pandemic, of course, and the spread of this coronavirus. Senator Cotton, Democrats use this opportunity to really hammer the administration on its handling of that crisis and the spread of this disease. How do you counter that?
So first, I think we got a glimpse of the contrast between President Trump and Joe Biden back in January. At the very beginning of this pandemic, President Trump acted quickly and decisively to shut down travel from mainland China into the United States, a decision that at the time Joe Biden called racist and xenophobic. If Joe Biden had been in office there, we would have still had more than 20,000 Chinese nationals landing on our shores every single day, wasting critical time that we use to help build ventilators or develop PPE stockpiles in the winter. Now, the other thing that the president has done is led a massive national effort, almost Manhattan Project level effort by our government to develop new treatments like identifying remdesivir, a drug that's been on the market for a while as useful treatment. Just this weekend, emergency use authorization for convalescent plasma, and incredible progress towards a vaccine on record-breaking timelines. Joe Biden has no real proposals that he would do that President Trump hasn't already done, in addition to the things that we know Joe Biden wouldn't have done in terms of confronting China.
Well, he has taken on lifting those tariffs on China in some of his most recent interviews. I'll ask you about that in just a moment. But Nikki Haley on the stage last night, she dug into foreign policy and launched her attack on a possible Joe Biden presidency. Here's what she said.
Joe Biden is a very good guy. I know him. I mean, he's just as nice as they come, but that's just the problem. We saw what happens when you try and be nice at the United Nations. Basically, everybody was running over America when Obama and Biden were in there. And Biden, he's weak on foreign policy.
So, Senator Cotton, what will your message be on a Joe Biden presidency and foreign policy when you take to that RNC stage Thursday night?
Joe Biden is weak and wrong for America. He will not stand up to defend America, and he will exercise the same terrible judgment he's been showing since 1973 when he first got to Washington, voting against almost every major weapons program that we have today, whether it's stealth fighters or advanced missile systems or missile defense systems. Rolling over and letting Iran rampage across the Middle East, opposing the mission to kill Osama bin Laden. This is the kind of terrible judgment that will put Americans at greater risk if Joe Biden wins in November. That's why it's so essential that we reelect the president to another 4 years.
Well, that is what this week is about, hearing Republicans' side of the story and lifting up the president. We heard from the Democrats last week. We'll hear from you Thursday night. Senator Tom Cotton, thank you.
Thank you, Sandra.
All right.